Hey guys, McMerlin here, and once again I'm at the Living Computer Museum for their PreserveIT event. ckeys, formerly known as Seattle Keyboards, has been invited to showcase some vintage mechanical keyboards, and it's going on right behind me. So I bought in a few keyboards myself. Let's go check them out. If you guys are ever in Seattle, please make sure to visit the Living Computer Museum. They've got a collection of computers from the 60s all the way to modern times. They've even got an Apple IIc behind a glass window. This is the only known keyboard with amber Alps. So the museum is presenting PreserveIT, basically a week of celebrating preservation. It brings together experts in the fields of preservation to share tips with everyone who enters the museum. There'll be tips for taking care of special collections such as paper, photos, objects, media, software, and even computers. And this is where we come in. The museum reached out to the keyboard enthusiast community and asked if we could share some of our vintage collections. So here we are.
So the stabilizer on this guy is really interesting. So you can see there's little posts here, kind of like what Cherry has, but instead of there being little inserts that go into the cap, the stabilizer wire actually sits in the cap itself. So rather than trying to get the stabilizer to fit inside or underneath and then plugging the cap on top, you plug it in right here and it fits in and comes off fairly easily, but it just fits right in there. And it's super easy to pop on. So it's kind of got the advantage of Costar, like the nice crispness of Costar with the ease of putting on like a Cherry style. It's really great.
Talking to me. Oh man. I've just made it back from the PreserveIT event, and I realized while I was going through all my footage that I forgot to film one of my keyboards, and I'd argue this is one of the rarest keyboards I've ever found. So it's full-sized plus a few macro keys, and if you look closer you'll see that it's actually a Sun Type 5 keyboard. But it's not made by Sun, it's made by this company called Integrix, and it is the only mechanical Sun keyboard I've ever found or I've ever heard anyone talk about. Well, there's one with an ISO enter key, but this is the only ANSI one ever. So if any of you guys out there have one of these, mechanical, please comment down below. So these are vintage blacks with Costar stabilizers. I say they're vintage blacks because almost all the switches have that large Cherry font. But when you pull out the keycaps, you'll see that it's really clean. So I suspect this is a new in-box keyboard, NIB. Anyway, we were at this event from 10 a.m. to about 3-ish with lunch in between. There was a nice sandwich stop down the street. There wasn't as many people as I thought, definitely nowhere near as our Seattle meetup, but we did have a few families come and go, and their favorite keyboard was not a keyboard, It was actually the typewriter. Well, a lot of us had fun using the typewriter too, but since there were only 4 of us there, I actually had the time to play with everyone's keyboards. I even had the time to go upstairs and check out what the Living Computer Museum had to offer. Anyway, if any of you are in Seattle, Washington, and are looking for something cool to do, please check out the Living Computer Museum, and maybe you'll see us there. This is Mac Merlin, and I'll see you all next time.